Hello and welcome back to Europa Universalis. We are continuing on with the Grand Greek Order as we get ready for, well, we're colonizing into the New Worlds. We've got a ton of colonies down here, and we are fighting back against the Lutheran Reformation right now, prepping up the Society of Jesus. And I want to get ready for a war with the Ottomans, because I've also realized through the Ottomans, I could have access to Egypt. And if we have access to Egypt, we got access to old Jerusalem. And ultimately, like, that is the goal of the Knights Hospitalier. So I feel like we've got to try to find a way in there. In order to take on Egypt, we're going to need a slightly bigger army. They've got about 10,000 troops. Oh, nice. Free dog. Good boy. The dog is great. Just helps our explorers explore better. We're crushing down on a couple of these rebellions. We're doing... I don't know. I want to say we're doing better on rebellions, but we have a lot of rebellions happening constantly. Upon the successful return to the expedition of Cuba, we hear that Pelagios gives much credit to a promising young officer. A new explorer. He's expensive, but he'd get special explorer traits, which we haven't had. We have maps of Cuba. Cuba's pretty big. What do we have in Cuba? Down here we have Chile and tobacco. Cuba's got cocoa. I don't think we have that on this island. Oh yeah, we do. A little bit. Cocoa, maize. Tobacco. Cocoa, wild game, Chile, tobacco. All right, all good stuff. Also, all these little islands are starting to pop up now. So we're going to want colonial charters there. For sure, I want to get all of this chartered. Do we install 1.07? We have. There is a new patch today, I guess. I feel like there's a new patch every day, honestly, at the rate things have been going. I'm going to have to take out a loan. Unless... Hear me out. Unless I do that. Temporary runaway inflation. Just for a month. No big deal. Just so we don't have to take out a loan. And we'll bump that back up, so we're making... You know what, let's make 0.1. We're making pretty good money right now, so... I'd love to get our stability up a bit better as well, but... all things in due time. So I was realizing also for our other rival, it's probably Egypt. You know, Egypt has Jerusalem. I thought about rivaling Castile, but... Who are your rivals? You view... Alodia, Macuria, and Hula guilds. You are rivaled by the Jalarids. Interesting. Kanem, Malcuria, Hula guilds, and Ethiopia down here. You do have a lot of vassals. Oh my god, you have a lot of vassals. You have way more vassals, actually, than I gave you credit for. So I think that's like... Barca over there. So they don't have Tellus. You're a tributary of Tunis. But they do have those guys, and they have basically a bunch of countries in and around here. Alright, so Egypt's going to be a big dog. Everyone is brave until Egypt unleashes war elephants and navy crocodiles. Facts. That would be a problem for us. Also, what is a problem are all these dang pirates. Right, like I have a bunch of pirates over here in Corsica that are causing me grief. I guess the thing is like our boats are more concerned about keeping the naval presence up here than they are about going to other places. I guess getting access to that Tunis market has been nice. I mean, we certainly are making good money right now. We have so many colonial charters. It's insane. Ooh. A mysterious plague is ravaging the natives in Bavaro. The indigenous population at an alarming rate, independent of their class or piety. The disease is unpredictable and deadly, sometimes producing fevers and rashes, sometimes sneezes, sometimes vomiting or delirium, almost always ending in death. The speed of the contagion and morbidity of the symptoms is leaving our doctors perplexed and impotent. There's little else we can do besides deliver last rites and dig graves. Poor souls. We lose 2.5 stability. Look at this, though. We've already got a bunch of colonies dropping down. And I want to say that one of these is the good. Where is natural harbor suitability? I'm just pinning this guy. No, those are going to be the natural harbors for us. One of these could work. I mean, if this wants to be my first spot over here, we could absolutely add a settlement. Just in case. I do want to make this colonial charter. I need 200 bucks for it, though. Jared, salutations. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Affected locations 1. Country deaths 2. Segregate. People get upset, but disease resistance goes up. This gives us clergy satisfaction, pop conversion speed, tolerance of the true faith. Progress towards traditionalist, not so good, but I do like the other parts of this. Where are we on the old, Yeah, you know, we're moving pretty fast towards innovative right now. I could probably scapegoat just to get this tolerance bonus and conversion speed bonus. The Orthodox zealots and the Lutheran zealots might get upset, but I'm gonna hit that, and then I don't have the funds for that. This gives us the disease resistance, so I'm also going to segregate the infected. I don't want this spreading. Livy, hello, good morning, good morning. Oh, great pestilence. Confessionalism has appeared in Sicily. I mean, that should be good. I think we have our military sponsorship there. So Naples should send that across to us. We'll get that pretty quickly. Good New World institutions for us. Good fancy new institutions. Newton, hello. Welcome, welcome. Come on into the colony. I'm just going to send you this from the capital. So if I'm correct now, nice. So we have literally colonial charters on this entire island. And you are the really good natural harbor. Maze. Development is 5. The question of these is like, which one do I want to be the capital? You are the province capital, so let's make it you. And I am going to build a market here. That's going to be the goal. Not enough masonry and lumber in the market to do this. Really? Purchase of indulgence. Are you joking me, dudes? I didn't even have a moment to respond to that. So we've failed the Reformation. The moment it went through, French Comp was like, we want another one. I mean, I don't know. Debates have passed, debates have failed. I'm not sure if this is in favor of us, if this is not in favor of us. Honestly, I have no idea quite how this breaks down for the whole Council of Trent. One thing I know is we got about 20 million Lutherites now, which is not ideal. Council of Trent has to have ended, and the War of Religions needs to not be active. And has to be ended. Huh. Alright. Oh, I see. And you're part of this market. That's probably why I could build a settlement over there, but not over here. Not enough lumber or stone in the market. I mean, lumber, stone. All right, so once we get the colonies going, we could probably fix this problem. Global trade has appeared in Paris. Goods have moved across continents since antiquity, but where they've previously been limited to a set number of routes and goods, such as manufactured goods of India and China, finding their way across the Silk Road, all trade is now increasingly part of a global trade network. With the discovery of the Americas, sea routes around Africa, and the crossing of the Pacific Ocean, local networks are being connected into one world-spanning interconnected web. Silver mined in the Andes is now being boxed and taken to Europe via China and India. Iron mined in Scandinavia is being sold in West Africa by English merchants, and others are making a fortune just distributing cloth and spices within the Southeast Asian trade sphere. Local Indian merchants are investing in future European trade ventures, and it may still be too early to speak of a truly global economy, but surely the first seeds have been sown. Shouldn't be too hard to pick up that one either. Ooh, man. Okay. Our zealots are still being troubles. At least the Turkish patriots have chilled out. Our naval captains have managed to get us 1.5k, so we're rich again. Honestly, I love our naval captains. They do such a good job. I cannot get over it. They are true homies. You're integrating, and you are converting to Catholicism. Yeah, just trying to help with those Orthodox zealots. Yeah, the integration is going to help a lot there, too. I think with all of this money, honey, adding in a bunch of roads back home would be smart. One thing I've been kind of learning about as well is just like waiting for events like the Curia when you get the 20% off roads. Like the expand road network is like a thing that nobles often want to do, and then just chucking a bunch of money towards that. Really, really good use. This being said, we're also getting upgraded roads pretty soon, so I feel like roads everywhere, roads and roads is would be really helpful for getting our tax base up. TBH is probably one of the best things I could do right now. Other than, you know, just continuously dump all of my money over here. Which you better believe I'm also going to do. Because I love colonial charters. That'll keep us busy. Yeah, we'd have a ton of exploration still going as well. A cabinet member has died of food poisoning. This guy's not very good at integration, but he is really good at diplomacy, and he has cool glasses. He's also 66 years old. So if I hire him, he's probably going to die very quickly. That is tradition. I am somehow broke again as well. Have to see how we do here. Have we all been doing? Doing pretty well, I feel like. I've been hooked into map mode. Hooked into map land like never before. The game's really got a Really got its grip on me. How's the Great Pestilence? Affected nothing. Country deaths 30. The situation will end after most of the continent of America has been infected and the disease has disappeared from every location. Well, I feel like losing only 30 people to the Great Pestilence, not that bad. Not that great a pestilence, really. Nice closed ivory well game. I told you, man. I told you he would die within the year. I don't even think I made the money back. I'm not hiring any of these guys. They're too old. I'd rather keep the $100 for something else, quite frankly. Gotta be better use of a cash than that. Ooh. My chancellor has died. We've also discovered the Mayans. The Coochie Ball of Maya. Cooch Cabal of Maya? This is a pretty advanced city. I feel like we should be friendly to the indigenous populations. I don't really want to pick fights with them. I don't feel like it behooves me to do so. Just in general. So I do need to get a cast a spell against these dweebs as well. Which does mean I need a spy over there. Which does mean... Ugh. I lost a second counselor because that other counselor was my heir. I'll probably stop improving opinion. But I'm going to have to dump some money into this if I want to spy on the Ottomans. Masmudin will appease the Greek people. Man, I just cannot keep that positive stability to save my life. You got some lazy Skaven, can't even create a normal plague. I know, right? Really disappointed in them right now. The Council of Trent has ended. Convened in the hopes of reconciling the various schismatic churches that have emerged in the wake of the Lutheran Reformation, but after a seemingly endless series of debates and negotiations, the results have been inconclusive. Decision has been made to disband the council. May God have mercy on the souls who were not returned to the church. Catholicism now views religions of the Reformation as negative. We have discovered the Lesser Antilles. What do we got going on here? Cotton and fish. Fish, fruit. Pipes, fish, and a little bit of cocoa down here. You're a decent harbor. One of the big things right now is I don't want anybody to get the good harbors. Other than me. I am losing $30. That seems a little expensive. That seems like more money than I should be losing in a single tick. A gifted translator. Speaking Greek. $24. Gain some exploration. Sure. Yeah, I'm going to want to colonize this. I obviously want to colonize Epstein Island up here as well. Just for a laugh. It's in the news, you know. We got ourselves a fancy new admiral. We also have a special explorer right now, which I totally forgot all about. Dude, I totally forgot about our explorer. Should I have him explore Mexico? Where is he? It's got to be this guy. Exploration cost minus 10, but he's okay. So he's cheaper, but he's slower. This will cost me $100. Here's the problem. If I do this right now, I'm going to bankrupt myself. Because our economy is something weird's going on with the old economy. I thought building all these roads would really fix things up. Where's Epstein Island? Is it an actual island? Yeah, it's like right... It's somewhere in this pocket. This little pocket of islands here is where it is. It was all in the news the other day, so I was like, I'm going to Google this and figure out where this actually is. And then I was like, oh my god, that's where I'm colonizing right now in EU. That's hilarious. After a rather turbulent beginning with the natives of Sruk, we finally managed to convince them of our good intention. As we made landfall, 2 men, one young and old, approached our ship. They were not interested in gifts, and when we fired a warning shot over their heads, it wounded the older man. Dude, that's not how a warning shot goes. They ran to their huts and brought men who threw spears at our crew until we were chased off. The adults fled into the woods, leaving their children behind. As a gesture of friendship, some members of the expedition left behind some trinkets with the children. Oh, man. Classic Florida. We show up at Florida, we start shooting people. They start throwing spears at us. They're like, we don't want any immigrants down here. What is going on? Why am I... Did I lose... You know what I think I lost? I think I probably lost war reparations from Naples. We have to fix the budget. I am not sure how. Probably not spending 108 gold on colonies would be the answer. I might have to drop naval maintenance. It's not like I can tax people anymore. We could mint and let inflation go up, but I don't know that that's a good idea either. This annexation is going to take quite some time. How are our charters doing? This is like 80% done. Honestly, this is colonizing really fast. Especially considering how extremely slow this stuff is colonizing. I guess people are way more interested in the New World than they are, you know,
Slurp slurp.
Africa.
Interlinked. Yes, 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 ice cream so good. Interlinked. Thank you, Lopes. Interlinked. Gang gang. Interlinked. Say how. Interlinked. Is a cream so good, gang gang donuts yum. Nom nom nom. No spicy no. I'm hungry.
No spicy
nom, nom.
no. Nom nom strawberry yums. Nom nom ice cream yum. Thank you, Diego. Borg, how we doing, my dude? Thank you for 12 months. The whole year, my dude. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the support. Good meme, you made me laugh. It's the land, you swear. I swear it's the land. I am most excellent. I'm glad to hear it, dude. Welcome to Greece. Welcome to Caribbean Greece. Oh, my money, my money, my money. Do I just like drop the Navy? Here's the thing. If I drop the Navy, then I lose maritime presence. And if I lose maritime presence, my trade drops. Shockingly, trade is not making me that much money, which you would think it would, considering we're an insane center of trade. But I guess the thing is that we mostly just trade with ourselves. We trade with ourselves and we trade with the Ottomans, and that's about it. How are we not, like, bringing more cash in here? Not this market, this market. Tahuna is not my capital market, dude. Why are you confusing me here? Why can I not switch markets here anymore? Thank you. Okay. I don't know what that was about. Game getting itself all kinds of confused. Yeah, we're mostly just exporting saffron. We're importing incense. And we're actually importing silver. I don't know why we would be doing that, considering our silver stockpiles are full. And then, yeah, we pretty much, everything we do is export. Which ain't bad, all things considered. Definitely not an Android. Definitely not. Why do I feel like this new patch just broke my economy? Man, 29. Obviously, like, dropping the naval maintenance, I think, would be the best option for a little bit of that break. We could drop the cost of court a bit. I don't want to spend less money on my colonies, though I know that that's the real answer here. I'd rather actually spend a little less money on exploration, probably. And maybe we don't need to spend money on food. We probably do need to spend money on food. That stability marker is not really doing much for us. Let's try that. There we go. Keep the naval maintenance up as much as we can. Cost of quartz. Price gets reduced. All right, so this was just a trade hiccup. That's all it was. Am I correct in saying that Morocco just rivaled me? The vile Sultanate of Morocco has declared us their rival. I've been wondering when that was going to happen. We have finished integrating Vidar, which is great. Because I do believe, I cannot believe this, but I can believe it. We only have Malta left to integrate. We are finally at the point where we are almost entirely integrated. Oh, nice. And we have a very good young monk here that we could put on our council. I'll do that if we ever get the money. Yeah, really not entirely certain about what happened with the whole economy here. Seems to be a bit all over the place. But I reckon as all this gets populated, it's gonna, you know, we should start blowing up in the positive way. Also, now that we have actual colonies, we should start doing things like tobacco plantations, cotton plantations. I don't know if these other ones we want silver, lead output. I'm not sure about that, but definitely plantations. New World crops would give us a bonus to food production. And then we could also, like, increase burger power. Commoners allowed in the cabinet. Interesting. Burger power goes up a tiny bit, but we also get production efficiency. Colonial migration. Ooh, we could put the burgers in charge of colonial migration. Strengthen their rights to give us trade efficiency. Definitely don't want to curtail them. I do love commoners allowed in the cabinet. That would probably solve a lot of my noble issues. Also gives us production efficiency, which is really good. Also gives us plutocracy, which is really good. It's probably better than colonial migration. It's hard to kind of say. La 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 la. There's a lot we need in there. Raise taxes on the estate. They're all basically maxed out. They are all actually maxed out. Except for noble taxes. And that's because the nobles are basically a punching bag for me. They have such little power that I'm constantly using them. Using them to get what I need. How is my crown power? Not great. 23%. So crown power, aka chapter power, used to not seemingly have an effect, but now it does. The crown power always did, but I don't think chapter power did until one of the recent patches, so it's okay. We're pretty neutral on it. Val di Noto, I believe that was, wow, we just integrated Malta in like a day. We're integrated. We're totally, utterly integrated. Now all I need to do is keep converting these Orthodox pops. Oh my god. That's huge. That's huge, that's huge, that's huge. Detailed maps of Caracas have been found. Maize, cocoa, stone, cotton. A little bit of silver down there. And not really a good harbor. Well, except for you. You're a good little harbor. But I don't think I can afford to have any more colonial charters. Like, we have so many right now. Until this chills out a little bit. Which it will pretty soon. These colonial charters are absolutely bumping right now. No clue how, but they are. A soft answer turneth away wrath. Our faith gives us peace and security, so we have no need to oppress others. Even those in the darkest depths of heretical belief can see how respect for humankind is encouraged by God. All right, that's not really a big deal, but happy to get rid of some Lombards. And here's our Curia. Now, if only I had all that money for roads again. Athens. Increased naval infrastructure. If the debate passes, we gain 2 points of naval. Currently 45. Dude, where did all of our naval go? Mission to civilize. Increased migration. I can't get rid of the mission of the high seas. I can support innovative. I could support conciliatory. And I could also support outward. Reduce opinion of Verdun. But in France? Tanking my cultural tradition here. You know what? That's probably enough. If we get like a single event, we'd pass this Curia. So I have to hope we'll get a little bit of something there. Reichland, how we doing, dude? Does he know there's been an update? Yes, 1.7. 1.0.7? We are using it right now. Marion becomes a town. Start construction of a new market. No. I want this to all be Greek. Oh, interesting that they moved. I put the settlement here, and then they decided that this is actually the capital. I mean, either of them would be fine. Happily build another settlement there in the meantime. We'll let this keep building out. Levy should be fixed. Doing warfare yesterday was rough. That is good. Losing Curia support is not good. Reformers have put forward a new confession of faith that has minor but serious differences with Catholic teachings. That is Lutheran again. Which I don't really want. Break alliance I'm not doing, dudes. There's another 10% crown power. This is not great. If I lose this debate, we actually go the other way towards land. This also screws me. So I'm going to have to take this autonomy movement. I don't think I can get this, man. Basically, unless I get a Curia event. I think I'm licked. We do have some new good counselors that we can start putting in. Everything says Reichland. Has Emperor Vlad taken the throne yet? Take me to my men. Summon the Elector Counts. A disaster has struck a colony. Many settlers have died and more have returned home. Lose 16 bucks. Or lose 12 people. I'll lose 16 bucks. And Tsushima has been discovered. This has got to be a natural harbor, right? Shockingly, not really. Salt, pearls, silver, and gold, though. I do love silver and gold, though. This is all like one province. I cannot afford another colonial charter at the moment, so we're going to have to chill just a little bit. Let some of this stuff kick in before we go too ham. Can I get another seat here? Yet? 229.35. We have 196. That number keeps going up, man. They keep adding more and more cardinals. I mean, I don't think I had anything to pass this, but... that sucks. This means we're really far away from that. We're now down to like 45 naval. 43 naval? Alright, I'm going to put another reform in here then. If this is the case, I don't really see any other way we can do that. Like, unless I take, what is it called? Crusade of the Sea. For the .1. And even that, I don't think it's not really enough right now. I don't know that would get it to us. What I would need to do is take Crusade of the Sea, pump my naval back up, and then take Harbor Administration. And then I could strip out Crusade of the Sea. We do have weapon quality, which does give us capital economy as well. What do we have right now? We're changing towards traditional. But if I pick this up, we would get capital economy. We're 54 on quality right now. We could also take punishment of heresy. It's not bad. It does solve some of our heretical problems. What are our other things in here? The National Assembly and the plutocratic effort. Yeah, honestly, I think getting rid of the plutocrats and putting it in some of these other guys would be the way to go. Max literacy, 5% is also just like solid. Never really a bad choice. Colonial range, I'm not really worried about. We have the range. If this was like colonial migration speed, it might be a different story. Just raiding, simple man, simple pleasures, saving women and swag from burning houses where all the men mysteriously disappeared. That's so kind of you. Yeah, I don't really feel like we're in an era where galleys are what we want going on anymore. I do want pop conversion speed, but I'm worried if I make the heretics any less happy. It's just that, like, I'm a theocracy, so if I don't be theocratic, it's problems for us. You're already moving towards spiritualism. 0.8 each month, yeah. The clergy has all the strength. 5% discipline is nothing to scoff at, though. And if I am going into a war, 5% discipline is a lot. That's a lot. We only have 7% right now. At max level quality, We get more maintenance, but we get more tactics and more army initiative. Honestly, this would help us with the Ottomans and then also Egypt. It would also push us towards capital economy, which is something we do need to start doing. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take it. We're a quality kind of guy. Could be a theocracy that sticks it to the Pope. I mean, the Pope has definitely been more of a thorn in our side than a help. I can tell you that. I could tell you that for certain. Why are Turkish patriots popping back up? Why? Why do you have to constantly be popping back up? There's barely any of you. 250,000 Lutheran zealots. I think I'm actually going to have to put this guy in suppressed rebellion over in old Orthodox land. Because I'm getting way more concerned about them. And I'm going to have you on a rebel crackdown for a little while. Crack down on those rebels while we start suppressing them with the army. An ordeal in Florida. During our mission to find viable provinces to colonize, we stumbled upon Tequimapo. Its natives are mostly hostile, but the land is very prosperous. We would gain much from trading with the province, although we might need to bribe a chief or two. Lose 38 gold. Make him a fair deal? Yeah. Sure. Why not? Dubrovnik lacking food. Admiral of the big boys. Put another pirate captain. My explorer is also ready. The colony of Higwe. Keep it a part of Greece for now. So you are exploring that way. Oh, there are islands out here. The Sargasso Sea. Yeah, nobody is really exploring here. So I'm going to send my explorer up into this Gulf of... They call it the Gulf of Mexico, but I'm pretty sure it's known as the Gulf of America now. Pretty sure that's how it goes, right? Lousy iconoclasts, beat them all with a herring, that's what I say. I know, we're trying to get rid of this heresy as much as we possibly can. But they are stubborn about it. We gained a core on Bavaro. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. What is this? Christiana Pietas. Tolerance of heathen beliefs. Yeah, man, I'd absolutely take that. So you guys are missing liquor. Yeah, I am definitely going to want to build a market over here. There is no doubt about it. What is the province capital? Slower ship construction or 500 bucks? I'll take slow ship construction. We're not really building any boats right now. I can barely afford to do that. I will probably, and this is what I'm realizing, need a navy over here. Very specifically, I think the light trade navy is going to have to come over here. Which is currently busy, so I'm wondering, actually, will I need to build another trade navy? Currently, these guys are just, like, supporting the entire Mediterranean. We also have all of our heavy ships. But those are, like, for fighting. Those ships is made for fighting. Did we unlock better boats also? I feel like we did. Barks, caravels. Yeah, we did. You guys pop in here and I'll get upgraded? How much would this cost me? $200 reduced to upgrade every single one of those barks. That seems like it would be money very well spent. Now they're all caravels. So they're going to take a while to actually finish getting fixed up. Maya over here. I thought Maya was down here. What are you? Georgia. Look, my map's getting weirded out here. So we have American East Coast, we have Florida here, and then Miram in Brazil, which is these guys. We're not exploring there, which might be something we want to consider pretty soon. We do have the spy network in the Ottomans that I needed. 27. I think I need to pump a little bit more into diplomacy here. Just temporarily. Just because I want to get that Casus Belli against them. Maguania is going to be part of Greece. +1 cabinet seats? My dudes. That is very nice, thank you. I would like you to assimilate Pops over here. If I could get rid of these Turkish rebels, I think that would go a long way. So this is working pretty well. You're the last guy to go here, really. The wrath of the Great Pestilence is decimating all the castes in Samana. Even the holy men of the clerks are not being protected from the disease. Their loss is felt twice as many villagers no longer have anyone that can officiate proper burial rites, dooming the newly dead to wander lost as vengeful spirits unable to cross to the great beyond. We will help the church with $600. Or we lose 12 stability. Oh, dudes. So, because of all of our recent debates, the clerks, I keep calling them the clerks, but the Claros are really unhappy with me. I gotta take out a loan. I might have to take out 2 loans. I mostly just don't feel like I can afford this stability. 12 stability is an insane amount. Yeah, we're gonna take out another loan. Here's the thing is, like, loans do go back into the country as long as the Bank of Medici does not buy them all out. And when they do, at least, like, they buy them out and give that money to places like the church. So they're going to do, hopefully, a bunch of building of things like cathedrals now. Yeah. They did indeed. Don't take a second loan, just over them in for a bit. Well, too late. Too late. You there are going to create a Casus Belli. Can I not get Religious War anymore? We need to have researched Deus Vault to use Religious War Casus Belli. That's never been the case previously. I've done so many Religious Wars in the past. Did they break Religious War? Alright, well, let's stop building a spy network then. And we could probably cut our Diplo costs to pretty much nothing. God wills it. Oh, you know that God? He really wants to Deus Vault. He's always looking to get into trouble, that guard. Sneaky old fella. So this is good. This is all nice. We got some tasty, tasty territory over here now. We're making amber and all sorts of stuff. And once this guy is finished going, which should be very soon. And that's still fine. But I will really focus on building this up. You fellers are off to the Gulf of Mexico. Alright, so this island is actually complete. So I want to build a settlement here. There's not enough masonry in the market to do this. So if this is the case, I want to build a mason here. And a mason is going to require clay. So you better also build a clay pit. Now, do we have the population for that? Absolutely not, of course. But it will come in time. Surely there must also be some things like clay down here that we could gobble. You are a different location. Yeah, there's clay up here. Ah, see, this is the problem, is that this market is screwing me right now. There's not enough glass, masonry, and lumber in this market to do it. Oh my god, dudes. No trade capacity. Well, I guess this is the real problem we face at the moment. God, those are big loans. Do I have to build roads already? Oh, we have so many roads. So many roads. We got roads for days back here. Coming from our capital, we basically have roads out through all of Lower Greece, Greece Prime. Are you really building that into a town? Dude, that's going to really just make that a bit of a nightmare. Too many cowards. Lose a handful of manpower. That's not really a big deal. A call for a crusade from Castile against Morocco. Castile, the Azores, and Wineba. They want to take Cadiz back. No, Morocco wants to take Cadiz from Castile. This seems like it's a not me problem. If I'm going to be real. Yeah, you're the other market here that's an issue. I think until these colonies get built up a bit, this is not really going to solve itself. I will have to kind of decide what I want the capital over here to be as well. Probably Marion, which can build a market or a settlement. But I guess we got to start saying, like, okay, if we have this market, the Mayapin market, and this market, the Chinoyan market. So these are kind of our two markets over here at the moment, until we form our own. Yeah, and honestly, we're still just like waiting on people to just to fill the RGOs, so none of these are really going to get filled up that fast. Humiliate rival has a 900% cost for taking land, and you're going to take one location from the Mamluks. Holy War CB is in the Renaissance Age. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like just like the only CB I have other than Parliament-approved CB. I only want to really take Manisa. If I could take Bakalsir as well, I would do that. But there's only 2 territories I want from the Sultanates. I'm just trying to, like, reestablish the land we lost. That's the primary goal over there. Yeah, and I guess if I was to move boats over, I'd probably have a better time. So I'm going to have you guys patrol the seas of the Eastern and Western Caribbean. And I guess the Lucayas Sea. And I guess the Antilles. And we'll see how that works. Sorry, Castile. Sorry, not sorry. I do want to take all these natural harbors. It is very funny to do. You could come from Sus. There's a lot of people who live in Sus. I didn't realize that. Oh, interesting. These are all one area. These are all the Windward Isles. And then the Leeward Isles. Oh, well, we might as well grab all of these if that's the case. If you guys come from Mugla. So much for paying off that loan anytime soon. I mean, we're making good money, so. Only way to build roads is clicking province by province? No. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can do it. So if you go into the roads builder, like you can go in and be like, oh, I want to build a road here. You can also then hit, you can control and shift and it'll give you things. I honestly just like go to your capital, go to roads, sort by distance, and then just click through this. Because distance radiates from your capital. So typically the best way to increase control is literally just building it from the capital outwards. You know, if you're trying to specifically get control up in a certain point, like for example, we have this hill province that just does not want to have control in it. So I focus getting roads up here pretty quickly. You know, I could also focus on having some better roads up this way. But you can go in... Did they change the control and shift here? I feel like they did. Toggle building mode. Oh. So they changed this to right click now. Instead of control. So now you can also build like roads in crazy patterns. You know? If you want to be like, I want a road that goes like that through all these provinces. They'll be like, that'll be $12,000 reduce. Proximity map mode to see where they get proximity. Yeah. Prox to capital. We got maps of Florida. So you can see like most of our proximity from capital actually comes from sea trades into our main port cities. And then it kind of echoes out from those port cities. And that's because we're more naval based, though we haven't managed to keep that really figured out. What's in Florida? A lot of wood. Obviously, that's extremely good for any building we want to do over here. This would keep things pretty cheap. Can't believe I'm doing more colonial charters. I still don't even have all of Cuba yet. I mean, we have like almost none of Cuba right now. I can't help myself. Yeah, okay, at least our boats are over here fixing up the presence. We've unlocked paved roads. Well, there goes the rest of our money. Speaking of roads. Roads from roads. Upgrade roads to paved roads would cost 200 golds. Per road. Damn, that is crazy expensive. Look at this. The burgers are making naval supply stores and hospitals. That's in Naxos. That's not us. Those are the Naxos burgers. You are upgrading another city to a town. Dude is just like building as many towns as he possibly can before we come in here and annex him. Which we're, I don't know, about 2/3 of the way into doing. Which is nice. What kind of colonial nations am I planning to make in the New World? Currently, we're planning to just like get as much trade back as we can, so. Building roads from capital to all provinces doesn't do much because you're mostly pushing proximity through the sea. You have to build roads from the port. The land gets proximity. Yeah, yeah. And we have done a lot of that as well. Like in certain locations up here, we have like just kind of chained from Thessalonica instead. It all sort of depends on where we're focusing on. Building a fraction of your province needed roads. I'm playing with Spain. There's a lot of provinces. I'm tired to click one by one to check if there are possible roads to build. Yeah, I mean, to me, it always makes sense to just like go from the capital, but I guess the other option is like, yeah, I don't know how you do it anymore, but the control click was also doing this for us. Sorry, these are paved roads. That's why it's confused. Because when you held down control, you could kind of see where it was originating from. They must have changed something in this patch, though. Because it's a bit different. Carry on. Hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, these Orthodox Zealots are down like 100,000. There's our American East Coast discovered. What do we have? I think that's Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Northerner Carolina, aka Virginia, Maryland, Jersey, Pennsylvania, Hudson, Southern New England, Massachusetts, Maine. This is where I am. This is where I live. Right up here. The Canadian Atlantic coast. Well, you know, I got to get a colony up in Newfoundland. There's no question about that. Do we have an explorer to do this? No, not really, but we have some clergy. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Massachusetts probably has the best harbor. It's gonna go out on a limb here and say Massachusetts probably has the best harbor. I don't know why I think that, but I do feel like that might be the case. I can't explore that. Oh, and we don't have any of this figured out either. So right now, if we do trade, it has to go this way and then back down here. Oh, I actually can't come back. I think I need to explore this in order for trade to become cyclical. This coastline. Because I imagine I need to travel on the sea routes, and I imagine if this is not actually charted, we can't do that loop. And that's way quicker than this way, so... Obviously, this would make more sense for us in the long run, but, you know, baby steps here. Sounds cold, right? Mango, hello. Why would any self-respecting Greek person go to that cold-ass place? The Greeks are just going everywhere right now. This is the deal, right? Roads, capital, village, town, cities. Roads, capital, into village, town, cities. Org, I'm not sure what you're asking there. TBH. Why are you missing naval supplies? To repair my ships? Must be. Oh man, that's a lot of Lutheranism. Actually, no, it's not. We're still like 97% in the capital. Maybe it's a lot less Lutheranism than I thought. And we do have Jesuits, so... We can start getting rid of preachers, but we have to take stability hits every time we do it. And that's a little more complicated for us. Currently stalled. Canadian Atlantic coast. So I tried to explore from Florida, but they don't have access to any of the tools. Eastern Greenland, East Coast. North Atlantic. This is alphabetical. Canada should just be here. Maybe I have to wait a minute? Morocco has claims on one of our provinces. Why can I not set up a new exploration here? Am I just banned from doing that now? Oh, Hungary is in a war with Bulgaria, Serbia, Georgia, Shaki, Armenia, Jolmark, and Circassia. Yeah, dude, I'll help you with that. You've helped me out with some pretty good wars, so that sort of only feels right that I give you some backup here. I have all the Bulgarian lands I want, and Bulgaria is my rival, so... Nice. Sugar plantations, tobacco plantations, cotton plantations. There is no way that Hungary can crush us, so I'm literally just going to put these guys on focus siege. And I'm going to say have fun. Off to the races. What's really nice is because I'm in a war as well, we're getting 0.2 for basically our ruler being a general, which I do on purpose. Are all the colonies just penal colonies? Honestly, I'm not really sure. The idea I thought was that we would get access to goods and then we would be able to ship those home for cheap through the market. Need to get some cross-Atlantic things to shorten the distance. So we do have like, this is hilarious. I don't have this coastline, but I am colonizing down here in Esquibo. And then we have like these, all of these islands are our colonies. And we do also have a couple little colonies in like here, down here, down here. We've got scattered colonies about. And then this is like a Sus, which is actually a pretty big like city at this point. I have still been trying to build up some wharf infrastructures, which doesn't really seem to work for us. I guess because I can't really have a dock unless this is actually a city. Or at least a town. Why don't I found that into a town? Then I'd actually be able to make this a proper trade port. Which to me makes a lot of sense. Santiago is also meant to be a town, but they don't have enough population here yet. And it looks like... yeah, they're still trying to fill up that market village. There are no peasants to be hired. It's hard to move people into new locations, is one of the things I am discovering. Ooh, who are you? Tayuna. So if I colonize this, which was another one of the thoughts I had, because there is like gold down here, I think. Yeah, there is gold down here. This might also be a bit of a fight for us. We'll be up against some of the indigenous tribes. Okay. All right. preparing for an exploration to the Canadian Atlantic. Didn't we stop that? We for sure did. There we go. There we go. So I just need to make sure that this comes from a actual location where we have access to goods. Which is probably going to be like sus. Preparation is going to be a long time away, but that's it. That's it. That's all we can do. Boys are going to go to work. We're going to do whatever we can. We have Guantanamo. And we do ever cast a spell against the Sultanate of the Ottomans now as well. So once this war with Bulgaria is over, we can start focusing a little bit more on that. I think it would be wise for us to just start pumping up our Diplo relations here with our other vassal. I think most of our guys are going to just kind of take care of business. There is the coast of Guyana, which is not a good harbor. Huh. Are there any good goods? No. Wow, I really thought there would be... You know, there's so many colonies that exist there in modern time that I figured there'd be a lot of good goods there. But I guess I figured wrong. So that's it. All right, you got clay pits and you have masonry going. So I want you to build a settlement. There's not enough masonry in the market. I would like to subsidize the mason and the clay pit. I have a lot of peasants and I have a lot of tribesmen. Presumably, people will start working in this. I guess they're mostly working in the fish RGO. Well, I'd rather them work in the clay pit and the masonry, though. More and more colonies are popping up. Hungary wants food access. They can have it. I'm being sieged down, but I think our vassals will solve that problem for us. Honestly, I really do see this as a automated war. For one, it's not really my war. So everything we capture is just like for fun. It's mostly for money. We have all of the Greece lands from Bulgaria already, and I stole the gold mines, so... Here's maps of Mirm. Again, bad natural harbors. Fish, sand, fish, beeswax. All right, we don't want any of that. The great thing about this is I don't need to put harbors down here. I can focus on the ripe lands of the Caribbean. Can I increase control in the colonies? Yes. Mostly through things like proximity or also bailiffs. If I start building towns. Yeah, I think until this RGO is actually filled, though, they won't work on any of that. So that's life. How are our debts doing? We gotta aim at paying those off. Because otherwise they're gonna build up. Boop, 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 boop. Offensive, defensive. Offensive gives us movement. Siege assault. Defensive gives us fort defense, combat speed, fort limit. Honestly, I think defense is probably the better one here. What is our army tradition? Is it still like maxed out, basically? I'm going to actually go on defense. Start seeing if we can shift that. And we're going to request another cardinal seat. We still don't have our Constantinopolis cardinal seat, so let's go for that. Nice. We got it. That gives us 4 seats. In a fractured Catholic church. In not the most useful Catholic church. Oh, yeah. And all you guys are also... I forgot about this. Wow, we have so many indigenous leaders. Look at how many people we got from our colonization. All right, I know we said we had to pay off those debts, but also these people are all really good. And like fairly young. Rights of the burgher law. So, where do we want to go on this? Strong guilds was one good option. I think strong guilds is probably the best one. Commoners in the cabinet is kind of nice. It doesn't give them that much power. It gives us plutocracy. Mercantilism versus free trade. Free trade gives us less market protection, but allows us to trade much better. Mercantilism gives us market protection, but drops trade efficiency a tiny bit. And we get maintenance instead of advantage. Export cost from foreign markets, foreign traders, 10%. I think free trade is probably the better thing for us. Not creating the rum cores, if that ever becomes an option, didn't work out too well for New South Wales. Bailiffs aren't built in town, but in rural settlements. I hear they can't be built overseas. If there's a way to boost control in colonies other than temples, you don't know. Interesting. Okay. I mean, it might just be building up maritime presence then. I mean, it might also just be that you're not meant to get taxes. You're just meant to get goods. I am more interested in the goods and the trade, and I'm less interested in the taxes, which is what control really gives you. Okay, we have lots of options here. Colonial range, trade range, exploration costs. Quest for the New World. Print culture would give us institution. That's right. We recently picked up the printing press, right? Cheaper ships. Cheaper embracing of institutions. Unlocks exploration. Casus Belli. Paper workshop. Books output. Lumber output. Weapons workshop. Oh, okay. This is just a cabinet laws. Dynastic administration. Meritocratic recruitment. Monthly naval tradition. More burghers. This is more nobles, more aristocracy. This is better clergy. Yorkist. Sinocide and a council of captains. Ooh. How do I get a council of captains? We have the Pirate Brethren government reform. A pirate brethren is a haven for all manner of thieves, murderers, and smugglers. Dude, I cannot wait to play as pirates. I feel like that's what we should have been doing, but we never did. I think I'm going to move towards this lumber output. The price of a cardinal is cheaper. Power projection is always good for us getting great order points. to some degree. The House of Parliament would actually probably be really smart for us as well. This is upgraded workshop marketplace. Yeah, we should get this. Handful of things that would be good. Could I keep quiet for 10 minutes? I'm trying to watch an Irish person rank pasta shapes. Totally fair, totally reasonable. My apologies. I'll keep it down. A brief of maritime presence from Greece to the colonies. How many ships do you plan to build? I believe the answer would be all of them. I mean, because here's the thing. I don't know. Our maritime presence right now is pretty good. You know, we're missing chunks, but we have a surprisingly good maritime presence. That being said, this number is very, very big. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the best way to increase that control. He says it's because it's the most requested video. Also, he's very, very Irish. I could see that. I could see that working. More cores, more cores. I've got this whole little island. Tobacco, chili, all sorts of stuff. Now, you can build a settlement. You can build a settlement now. Which I do want to do. I don't know how. But I'll take it. You know, I figure all of the islands should at least have one capital on them. Just to help things out. Castile, how's your war going? You're winning. Unfortunately, I'm in a war right now, homies, so... I'm currently in a war that's not my problem. Just constantly gaining new cores. Rights of the burgers. Also, rights of the banks bleeding me dry. How much am I paying in 8%? Cost per month is 3. Could be better, could be worse. The need for coin. The devastation by the great pestilence in many villages has led to them to stop paying their taxes. Many have already perished or fallen ill, and those who have not succumbed to the plague struggle to meet their own needs, let alone the demands of the order. Nevertheless, the damage that a lack of funds could do to the people as a whole goes far beyond the penuries of a small set of villages. Our tax collectors have been quite aggressive in reminding the locals to pay their dues. I lose 10% control. The control here is definitely 0. We gain stability and they gain pop satisfaction. During hard times, taxes should be lowered. Coast of Guyana has been discovered. Guyana. Okay, so now at least we have a full back and forth we can do, along with many harbors to protect us. Just checking around to see whether or not Spain has made any. It doesn't seem like anyone else has shown up yet, so that is kind of promising. I really want a colonial charter on these little islands too. Even though I bet you there's not a lot of good up there. Fruit, game, fish, cotton. Well, no, you know, there's more than I thought. So, also question. Where are the plantations? Because we unlocked plantations. Can I only build them in towns? There's not enough masonry, naval supplies, and lumber to do this. Naval supplies as well. Oh, man. Okay. So we're really going to have to find some way to get some control over here. You guys mathing in the chats? I really can't help you on that front. That is not my specialty. Anger and fear in Cubano has reached the point where it can no longer be contained. It must be projected outwards onto others. Something needs to be done. Nobody has died from this. Like, we lost 30 people right at the beginning, and it's not been anywhere else. Be it the poor, the ugly, or a number of minorities, the masses demand a group be hunted and persecuted. Chimney's enemy tribesmen. 12 stability. Or 10 devotion. I'm gonna take this ability. You know, I think that's the right way to do it. We're up to 5 million. 5 million. 5 million is enough for an empire, right? 5 million of a primary culture. We need 10 million in total. We'll get there. Yay! We now have the entire... What is this? The Dominican Republic? Actually don't know geography in this area too bad. Kingdom of Bulgaria has accepted a peace offer from Hungary. They have ceded a whole lot of lands, war reparations to Hungary, annul all treaties with Georgia, Viseru, and this guy to Hungary and Hungary. Hungary now has access to the Black Sea. That's big. Giving them access to a port? Not bad. It's not a bad idea. Well, those goes back on suppressing rebels for now. This settlement is stalled. But only because you're out of masonry. You will eventually get masonry. It just might take some time. It just might take some time. I love how many cores we're just constantly getting here. I do not love how many hostile privateers we have. Died from diseases. Ships are not repairing. This would be our light trade navy. Okay, let's keep an eye on that, because if we can't repair our ships, we will eventually need to pull them out. Spreading proximity to colonies is more or less impossible, though it's thought-provoking to attempt, maybe with a few thousand ships. I mean, I think that's kind of like somewhat the idea for sure. You guys are missing masonry. We're missing rice, cloves, and pearls. Can't really solve those problems. Take some antagonism here. And one of our boats has gone down. That guy's cheap. So we have another Curia. Burgas becomes a town. We could. It would be another harbor. Forest exploitation. Always a big fan of that. Lets us build up our lumber. State religion. Also always love because we get missionary zeal, which lets us convert for 25% faster for 10 years. Now, their equilibrium is already 93%, so bumping up their equilibrium by another 20 doesn't do much for us. I could, if I took one of the 51%, I could probably get a parliament-approved action against the Ottomans, which would be a lot easier to take land with than a humiliate. Norath, hello, how we doing, dude? I don't really have the money to build a bunch of stuff right now, so funding something like farming or forestry is not ideal. Because I'd rather be paying down these debts. I gotta be honest, that conversion speed would give us a hand. Support of communal values and innovative ideas. All right, so I could get the Casus Belli on the Ottomans, the better one for us. In exchange for communal values. Okay. Okay. Great pestilence. We do have some devastated locations down here, but who's got really good Diplo? You do. I guess that recovery effort would help. We are like making gold and stuff down here again, so. People see the surprise Total Warhammer Immortal Empires announcement? No? Are they trying to win back some good fate there? I don't even see it on. What is the surprise announcement? It's not in their news feed, so. To have any chance of spreading proc so far overseas, you need full naval values and 1 or 2 reforms that go with it. Good luck. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably end up making these into colonies eventually. But the thing is like, again, it's... Control is mostly just going to get me, like... things like assimilation speed and tax base. Taxes from the colonies are not necessarily what I'm looking for. 10 devotion or 10 prestige. Oof. People actually believe the Grand Master was not consecrated, but instead was consecrated with the Bible pressed to his neck inside a tavern of ill disrepute. Homie's a tactical genius. I'll take the prestige hit because at least prestige bounces back up. If you own Warhammer 1 or 2, you get Immortal Empires as if you had Warhammer 3, just without the Warhammer 3's factions. Oh, cool. So if you only own the first games, you get access to all 3 games just without the factions. That's good. That's a very good way to do it. Full map and everything, yeah. Cool. We've picked up the Leeward Islands, aka Epstein Islands. Honestly, we are on a colonization hot roll right now. Let's pay off this loan. Get us out of the hole. And then I guess I'm probably going to want to work on my army a little bit afterwards. We're still up in that curia by 5%, so we should be fine. While the curia is debating... Okay, it's just the church is happy while it's debating. There's not really much I can do. "25 presents will migrate each month from Lower Macedonia to Temne. A pioneer colony is very much a man's place, but as the colony develops, we seek to grow less by immigration and more by the birth of children. Colonial company responsible for the Greek colony has arranged for a number of marriageable women, mostly widows, to travel to the colony to ensure that families are started." Fantastic. Could I put you on, like, stabilized country? What do I need here more? Pops leave. Pops join. Okay, so both stability and devotion do pretty similar things here. Monthly devotion definitely grows faster. I had this guy assimilating pops. Still largely here where those Turkish patriots are. Really hard to get rid of these guys. Most means people with 1 and 2 will be able to play multiplayer campaigns with 3 and not just skirmish. Oh, that's a good idea. Throw some imaginary numbers in there. You get good soup. You guys are mathing way above my pay grade, that's for sure. The moment you start throwing letters into math, I'm like, I ain't so sure about this. Yeah, those boats are still fine. Those boats is fine. Am I just going to end up owning, like, all of this coastline? New Grandmaster. This guy died while dealing with the army. Where is the current Grandmaster? We have so many military leaders now. You're leading a navy. Okay. That guy it is. Nice. Missionary zeal. If that's the case, I actually think you guys would be better off focusing on conversions wherever you can. Converting Kosovo, converting Upper Macedonia. Upper Macedonia is basically done. We'll focus on Badar a bit more. You're cracking down on zealots. Let's also have you on conversion for right now. Try to get those numbers up. Got a tier 4 city in Eno. Nice. Never gotten better than 2 before. Dude, excellent. Love it. Can people post links? Yeah. Absolutely. The Grandmaster and the Greek people. This guy's Bulgarian. Interesting. I'm gonna take that stab hit. And I'm not gonna like it. $500 to get rid of this last debt. I tell ya, expensive. I don't have much in the way of exploration happening right now. These places keep getting devastated. Oh, it might actually just be that we're growing, and so when we get them, we're inheriting the devastation of those provinces. I suppose that makes some sense. Books! You've unlocked advanced books. Greatest needs for dyes, saffron, iron. I mean, those are our single largest RGOs. By a pretty large margin. But yeah, I can't really increase them anymore. Morocco and Castile are still at war. I'm happy to leave them up to that. We're gonna lose 10 diplomatic capacity because we got caught doing some spying somewhere. I don't really know where, considering we're not actually spying on anybody right now, but dims the brakes. Oh, we got our money. Cabinet member dead. Okay, we are now back out of loans. And we have a bit on these deals still. Dude, we are getting insane cabinet members from the New World. I actually can't get over how good our cabinet members are coming out of here. Dude that tried to change pi to 3 almost got through a state senate until a certain scientist said no. Duh, scientists. Always ruining all of our fun. Hey. You guys are all individual charters. Are you? Oh no, you're all part of the Lucaius. We just never built that charter yet. Well, I'd like to get Cuba, and I'd probably like to get all these islands, because then we'll own the entire Caribbean. Which sounds like it's probably a good idea for us. We own the entire Caribbean, a bit of here, and a bit of Florida. I mean, this is like an incredible, incredible location to exist for trades out of. You also are a really good natural harbor. Maybe... Where's the best spot there? It does feel like this guy on Cuba is a bit more centrally located. I was going to build it out here. But maybe this is the better harbor. Tayuna and Mayapan. La la da 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 da. Oh, that's a market capital. Ooh, geez. Okay. Yeah, actually, this Guantanamo. It's a bit awkward. You're not a capital, is the only problem. You are a capital. We'll let it figure itself out. We're gonna need some more money anyway. Let these guys keep getting built up. Do what we can. Mac, hello. Senators are the right persons to discuss maths. Yeah, facts, right? Theme of the day is math. Is it math or maths? It depends on how British you are, generally. Seems to be that's where the breaking point is, so. Should I also be exploring more stuff? Probably. Probably not a bad idea. Do I have that explorer still? Yeah, you're an explorer. Off you go, young man. Go find me a way back through this passageway. Corrupt taxman. Lose 5 devotion or lose 700 gold. Thanks, I'll lose 5 devotion very much. And then I'll put a bunch of money back into bumping our devotion up. I'm not at war. Why am I funding my army and my forts? That's a lot of money, but it would help with my stability a lot. If I could get up to 0.5 for a little bit, I feel like that might be worth the cash. Anger and fear in Walachi have reached a point where it can no longer be contained. This is a problem. I'm gonna take that big stability hit. Because I got no big choice. You're another explorer. Are you exploring, though? Give me these naval admirals. What is the tree-looking thing? That's devastation. Which I do want to work on, but right now we have like a huge buff to conversion, so I'm just like letting conversion go crazy. It's just these provinces down here are damaged. It's not really a big deal. Something we're gonna want to fix, but not something we have to be in a huge rush on. Yeah, I still don't understand how this stuff is so slow. Like, how does this take so long to settle when I'm settling so much more overseas? I don't even know why we were settling this. This I understood. France is also trying to get their nose in here. Beckett, Rio, Fernando Po. So we're going to get the islands. It does look like France is probably going to work their way down the coast, though. Same with the Papal States. I still really don't know if anyone even knows about the New World other than me, so I love the idea that they're all going to come over here, and I'm going to be like, surprise, I've conquered everything already. Glad I learned in French, even though the pronunciation the same as Troy's. Learning maths in French. Naval officers retiring. Exploring the Sargasso speed. Temptation. You guys actually have room to build stuff here. I'm going to put in a little market village because it gives you kind of the ability to make anything you need. Yeah, it's really hard to say where I want to market here. My thought of putting one here just meant that it would be easier to get trade across the sea. But TBH, I feel like if it's in Guantanamo, it's going to control all of these islands anyway. Like, Tayuna is probably going to get cut off. Maybe it'll get some of these lower islands, but the bulk of them would go up here. And if I build it all the way over here, I don't think I will beat Maya for control of Cuba. Gaining cores. 67%. Okay, they're fine. They'll build up. Our church is building stuff back home like crazy, which is one of our favorite things we love to see. Gonna need a recovery as well. All this maths. I guess I should probably also discover this bay if I'm gonna own all this territory. Baby steps. Baby steps. At least we've got this nice and colonized now too. good progress. War of Religious is not ended. Is not active, but has ended. So I guess the war against Lutheranism just hasn't really kicked off. Salvation. Temptation. All right, we have to decide what we want the rights of the burghers to be. I feel like Strong Guilds is the best one here, but I'm also not sure I need commoners in my cabinet anymore. Our cabinet's like absolutely bumping. I could just give them colonial authority. That will give us outward, which we're only at like 7% on. When outward is dominant, we get a bunch of power projection, which is nice. And huge monthly colonial migration. We did just get the House of Parliament, though, which we definitely want to build in Athens. 565 bucks. 20% crown power and a permanent parliament, though. You can't really deny that one. 500 bucks is a lot of money, though. Holy smokes. My humiliation, cast a spell against the Ottoman, is coming up. I don't have a diplomat to go to war here. Drop that stability funding down a little bit. Oh, amazing. We've annexed Chia, though. Huge. Huge, huge, huge. That's a lot of bonus land for us. It is mostly Greek, though it does have a lot of French in here. It is thankfully at least all Catholic. We're probably going to start having French patriots. Though, at the same time, I have quite a lot of Bulgarians. Bulgarian view of Greek is pretty bad. I could tolerate French. I just don't really know if we need to. Like, all of these groups are kind of under like 2%. If anything, oh, I am already tolerating Bulgarians. Like, if it's below 5%, I don't really think we need to worry about it. We could accept Bulgarians. Which would just push us over our cultural capacity. So we probably don't want to do that. How far in are you? 200 years? Yeah, give or take. It's about that. We just started the Age of Reformation. And we are deep into exploring the New World. Exploring / colonizing the New World, I should say. There's all of our Achaean cores. Right, we can also probably chill out on that Diplo spending now, because I'm getting that point back from no longer having to annex. We have to improve Sleven. So we can annex them. All the rest is gravy. God, my name is just like so messed up over here, though. There was a comedy to be had in that. Age of Reformation, the one after the Renaissance? It's after... What, the Age of... What's it called? The Age of Sail? Age of Discovery. Several members of the nobles have come before the Grand Master with a proposal. Desperate for more land and titles, they look with envy towards the church, who owns considerable land. They ask we transfer church land to them in return for a large cash contribution. Of course, in the long term, we could lose out on tax revenue from church lands in return for this short-term boost in revenue. What tax revenue from church lands? The church doesn't pay taxes. Gain stability. Or like temporarily upset the church for thousands of dollars. What do the church need earthly possessions for? It's not like they can go into debt. I will take those thousands of dollars. Thank you very much. Now I can also do things like pump up the army. Do I want more falconets? Probably. Age of Reformation, but how long until the Age of Aquarius? Get out of here. Doctor, hello. Welcome in, dude. I have 16, so I have like 6, 6, and 5. I guess more of these guys would be good. A lot of times we've seen... Yeah, so this is 11 width. I feel like a lot of times we've seen... Maximum frontage is 11. So supply carts and falconets. You have 3 falconets. You have 4 falconets. I would like no falconets on the front line, so that they don't get killed over and over again. So I'm going to do like, I think 6 armies right now. That was so much money. But it's a lot of extra troops. What's all this about an aquarium? No, no, not an aquarium. An Aquarius. There are also some goods here back in Athens. We should probably see if we can't top up on the old RGO market. As things build and expand, and we get things like more gold. Try not to spend all of our cash here. Okay, okay. I mean, I guess it's really just like the stuff that's in extreme supply shortages are what's the most valuable. Y'all could build more die makers if it makes you more money. I should also probably start focusing on roads up through the north, because we're never going to get control. And also the rights of the burghers. I should have just passed them, but I stupidly did not. The Canadian Atlantic coast is discovered. We can now focus on discovering Newfoundland. The most important thing we could be doing. Where are my explorers? Exploration monthly progress, time modifier. I know you're not particularly good at it, but I want you to explore it. And are we still exploring, Sargasso? What happened to Massachusetts? Did this get canceled? Sugar. It must have. Do we have any other explorers? Don't look like it, so I'm just going to send this guy. There goes all my money really quickly. Sun is a Capricorn. We call him a candy corn. Same there. It makes him crazy. All the puns and dad jokes drops are reference to a song from 1969's A Deal Breaker? Not at all. Not in the slightest. Boats. Be ye in charge of boats. Ba, 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 ba. I'm gonna need the big boys back for this fight as well. 25 galleys. We're getting ready for the old Constantinopolis super brawl. I mean, we've been through this a few times already. Don't go easy. We don't have a lot of time left to do it. Yeah, okay, at least our boats are in very good shape, so. Our conversions are going pretty well. Orthodox zealots are still hangry. But, you know, what's to be done about that? I have enough diplomacy to send out the war declaration. I think we're going to need to move these guys down here. You're a very good army leader. A heretic in our university. Important member of our university in Pergamon is practicing Calvinism. The church can afford to be angry. And we unlocked merchant quarters as well. So that is a major upgrade for Athens. Because the marketplaces are merchant quarters? No, the merchant quarters is a whole other thing. Trade advantage, trade capacity, burger trade capacity. I can have 18 of those on top of the marketplaces. Oh, God. Okay. Are we maxed out on marketplaces right now? We just lose marketplaces. Oh, okay. Have I ever seen my legs? Just saying. It's the Innsmouth look. Newfoundland, there's a place with plus 200 fish production. I'd believe it. That is what Newfoundland was famous for. Literally, when they sailed over there, they were like, you can just dunk a bucket in the water and pull it up and it's full of fish. So it would not surprise me in the slightest. We are very Eldrick. I'm not saying we are Eldrick. I'm just saying we got a lot of Eldrick vibe going on. What do we need here? Pop promotion speed. Would be good. Just because so many of these places have people, but no promotions right now. Oh, you have room for some more stuff here. You have a cathedral. Interesting. You don't have market access, so despite you having that market village, it's actually not any good for me. Available for employment minus 577. Oh, because you guys are trying to work those copper mines. I'm gonna also throw a market village in here. I guess a cathedral would be really good if Guantanamo is going to become my capital. Or like my Mediterranean capital. market capital. Good luck. Good luck fighting Newfoundland. I believe in you guys. Ooh, also, if I don't have this discovered, it's going to be hard for us to trade out of this port. I understand. I live about 45 minutes from the place IRL Dunwich was washed away in the storm. Still a woods called Dunwich Woods. Ooh. So you got access to the real creepy crawlies. Is what you're telling us. The Great Pestilence. Present in one location. Here. In Yaguna. Well, I mean, we're building up a resistance to it, so shouldn't last for too much longer. No one wants to work. What are you gonna do? Nobody ever wants to work. Army morale minus 90%. I guess the thing is Manisa is the first place I need to conquer here. So maybe actually I just move that army down to Smyrna. Then we get ready for this fight. Yeah, okay, 10,000 troops versus 12 versus 2,000 troops. I have more levies. You get to invite in Ali and Lamb. These guys are insignificant compared to us, and we are much stronger than these guys. 350 regulars. 800 regulars. Yeah, this is not a problem. We can absolutely take on the Ottomans again. So I think that's what we're going to do. Norath is an old one, confirmed, right? I think you got that confirmed. You just sold yourself out. P.S. Papal States? Yeah, that's hilarious. Weird little spots we have along here. Oh, Naples. We're getting our little places. The Windward Islands. Oh, we have almost all of these. There's only 2 more left in the Windward Isles. I didn't even realize we had done such a good job grabbing all these little spots. Oh, yeah. So this is basically the whole Caribbean is owned by us. That's gonna be good. Let me tell you. That's not gonna go astray. And so the plantations in clear all markets. Tobacco, cotton. Not enough naval supplies and tools to build it. And sugar. It did give me the opportunity to build a tobacco plantation before. Interesting that's like it's not showing when I select in here. So I guess we just need to build up the prime industries right now. I mean, these populations are still pretty low. Cool. $5 million people live here? Huh? No, that's like total population of Greece. Yeah, okay. Still, actually, quite a lot of people do live in these spots. Eastern Crew, Castilian. You've got Eastern Crew, Mendiclin. Maybe that's why it's so much harder to colonize Africa, is that there is just a larger population there. So until you get to 50%, you don't actually outweigh them. Don't mind people calling me a great old one, though. 32 galactic years. Something like that, right? All right, I think we got to get ready for this big fight. Here's the thing. When I turn my army on, and I turn my forts on, I'm going to be 16 in debt. But I could probably chill out on things like the stability. Maybe. I could probably drop things like the cost of court down, maybe. I mean, as these colonies also pull up, finish up, it won't be so bad. All right, let's go to war in the next episode. We'll cut this one here, and we'll see you back as we go into the big war with the Ottomans next time. So come back and join us. Until then.